will come out and announce their starting quarterback. And I think everybody has expected all along that it would be the veteran Joe Flacco who draws the start. They want to announce the starting quarterback this week because they want this week to mimic what it would be like during the first week of the regular season. And so they want to get that starting quarterback decision made and in place. And while we're on it, in addition to the starting quarterback, I believe they're going to wind up keeping 4 quarterbacks on their roster. They always were going to keep Joe Flacco. They always were going to keep both rookies, who, by the way, I think could draw some interest around the league. And then Kenny Pickett would be the 4th guy. And there are just enough teams that still need quarterback help. And so quarterbacks are currency, and I think the Browns in the end are going to keep 4 on their 53.
To be clear, what you mean is they're going to keep him because with the idea that they will ultimately trade him and get something in response from a team that has an
maybe
injury.
They'll be open to that. Doesn't mean they will trade him, but they're holding on to a commodity, an asset. That's what quarterbacks are.
I've been in the camp that I think that one of the 2 rookies should start. I think if you're telling us more than likely, or anticipating to be Flacco, it'll be interesting to see who QB2 is then.
By the way, what if you keep 4 quarterbacks and you get an offer for one of the rookie quarterbacks?
Right.
Like, you don't know how it's going to go, but 4 quarterbacks gives them optionality and gives them value.
Greedy, with 2 first-round picks next year, I agree with Dan. Play the rookies. You got to see what you have with them because that's going to help dictate what you do next year.
One would assume, unless they start winning a lot of games, which I don't think is most people's expectation, you never know in the NFL, but I think there'll be ample time to see at least one of the rookies for them this season, if not both, and then they'll be able to make an evaluation based on that. But the expectation, as Shefty says, is in the next day or 2, they will name Joe Flacco their starter for tonight. We all wanted to see Caleb Williams in this new Ben Johnson offense. You were nervous as could be in Chicago. What is it going to look like? Dan, the news.
When he's supposed to be looking there, the ball again perfect to the tight end.
Now here's a play. Why do you like this one?
Because it's 2nd and 5. They call play action. The protection breaks down. Instead of him trying to run around and be a hero and do everything himself, he kind of leads 2 yards after the catch. The window's big, and it's going to constrict at some point. But throwing it when it's big allows for that after the catch by Olamide Zaccheaus.
97 passing yards on the opening drive for Caleb Williams. Here's another nice play to DJ Moore. In all, he would finish 6 of 10, 107 yards and a touchdown. Bears win 38-0.
So a month ago, I think I've grown a lot. Now, my mindset is, keep growing. I should be able to handle. Being able to do that consistently over the next couple years is, important for me.
I thought really the 3 days of practice we had this week and this game were the most he's stacked up good days in a row right now. And so the challenge is going to be to keep pushing in that direction.
Okay, so there are 3 elements, the way I see it, to evaluating how a quarterback played. The first is you look at the numbers. Those are easy for even people like me who didn't play the game to decipher. Next, you'll look at the highlights. Those are easy for people like me to look at. Then you look at the tape, and that's what I need you for. Did the tape look as good as the numbers in the highlights felt?
Absolutely. Every completion that he had from the pocket was out on no hitch or 1 hitch, except 1. And that was the big thing. When I talk about hitch, imagine for everybody at home, the quarterback getting to the top of their drop and moving up in the pocket. And every time that the quarterback does that, that's kind of known as a hitch. And the hitch tells you when and where to throw the football. And so if you go to the ball down the middle of the field, 1, 2, 3, hitch, that ball is out in 2.11 seconds. That's outstanding. You're going to get a hitch to the top of the screen. The route is just 5 yards down the field. There's no hitch there. That's 2 seconds. This is playing fast. If you just watch Caleb Williams' feet last year to last night, he looks like a different player. This is 1 hitch, 2 hitch, 2.2 seconds. The 1 hitch is to the short, the 2nd hitch is to the long. That's playing with rhythm. Back foot hits, and the ball's out. Another opportunity with an out route to the field versus man coverage. 1, 2, 3. There is no hitch there. 2 seconds. So that's the big thing is if you watched Caleb at USC and last year, the thing that we would hitch. And I was around Kyle Shanahan and Gary Kubiak, and they would always tell you, first hitch is the first guy, 2nd hitch to the 2nd guy, 3rd hitch, you either run or get to the check down. And so Caleb has not done that. Last night he did. That's great growth.
And Greedy, to that point, last year they had 68 sacks. A lot of those, to Dan's point, He was running backwards. He ran
Correct.
himself into a lot of sacks. So when you want to evaluate a quarterback, you start with their feet. His feet were confident, and they were on time. And when you have those two tight ends, Colston Loveland and Cole Kmet, and you can control the middle of the field, those are much easier throws. And look, to Dan's point, especially if your hands like he did last night, that's how he's going to get confidence. And this was markedly improved.
Could and couldn't process what he couldn't learn so that he could dial it back for the start of the regular season. But he looked on time. He looked in rhythm. He looked like he was working quick. He looked like he could get Ben Johnson's offense last night.
So the process has to be, okay, me as a coach, I'm going to get the first read open. The coverage is going to tell you who the first read is. I'm going to get him open. Your job, get it out on time to the right guy at the right place. Check. That box was checked last night. The next step is going to be, I'm going to get the first guy open. The defense is going to tell you who to throw the football to, and I didn't. So the defense covered the first guy. And so to Shefty's point, which is an accurate one, the Bills defense was remarkably basic. You think is going to get the ball, and that second hitch comes into play, are you going to listen to your feet? And then that third hitch comes into play.
I know Buffalo was vanilla, but let's face it, like that firm pocket really helps.
You say we don't have to order our preseason Super Bowl tickets yet. But again, if he had gone out last night and he had struggled mightily, you would be canceling those Super Bowl tickets.
Yeah.
Yes.
Now,
I mean,
right?
look, if he had played, that's what I would say. To anyone who's saying, hey, slow down, it's just the preseason, what would that same person have said if he went out and had the game that Justin Fields had on Saturday night for the Jets? You'd be saying, uh-oh, he's a bust. It's not going to happen. He's not getting the offense. So these things, they don't count, but they matter. And it looked like just take it for what it is. It was a huge step in the right direction.
Yeah.
We will see. They've got to be ready 3 weeks from tonight. They'll be playing on Monday Night Football against Minnesota. So we've got most of week 2 of the preseason done. Let's do some superlatives. Dan, who had the best throw?
I mean, Russell Wilson. This throw by Russell, the yards in the air. And so if they can give him some pockets that look like this and he still has that ability to launch the ball downfield, that's going to create some explosive plays to players like Malik Neighbors.
So that moon ball was the best throw. Mike T, who had the Cowboys? Will Micah Parsons be on the field that night? Are they getting anywhere in Dallas?
Greeny, I can't give you the actual answer because I don't know if anybody can, but the fact that it's even a question has to give you concern. The Cowboys open the season 2 weeks from Thursday night, and we heard Jerry Jones himself express concern about whether Micah Parsons would be out there. At the very least, he still hasn't practiced all summer long. So how is he supposed to go play a game, even if he does play, with the back tightness that he's experienced? You're surely not going to get the full Micah Parsons experience on opening night if he even plays at all.
Mike T, you were a general manager 2 different places. Help me. When the owner is saying, well, the player's under contract, and we've done all the talking we plan to do, and Micah is issuing trade requests on social media, how do those two meet? How do we meet in the middle there? How do they get a deal done?
You get in a room and you say you're going to get your average per year of $42 million a year because we know that TJ Watt's at 41.5 Greeny, and then maybe we win a little bit on the guarantees. But this is totally on Dallas. Nothing that has happened in this defensive end pass rush market is unforeseen from Donnell Hunter, Max Crosby, Myles Garrett, on and on and on. So you have to create a sense of urgency that we're getting in a room and we are not leaving until this deal is done, and both sides have to bend a little bit.
I'm so tired of this situation with the Cowboys because what was the point of draft